The Bad Batch and the clones in general are great for asking the big questions. Do the inhibitor chips take responsibility from the clones? Do the genetic modifications for obedience make them less responsible for their own actions? And if so, by how much? The show doesn't give concrete answers, at least not yet, but it's incredible for raising these sorts of philosophical questions, and that makes for fantastic drama. Here's my review and thoughts on The Bad Batch Season 1, Episode 3. Spoilers ahead. First of all, Wrecker doing his best to care for Omega is absolutely adorable. Rounds out his character well, and I'm totally here for it. It turns out Lucasfilm is now solidly in the business of making lone wolf and cub stories, but they're good at it and it works, so I'm fine with them keeping that up.
We're gonna die, we're gonna be fine, we're gonna be fine.
I have no idea what Omega's special trait will be, if any, but I loved how her unique care and optimism helped her recover the ship capacitor without having to harm the dragon that stole it. That was a creative and touching moment that showed Omega's special outlook and her role in the Bad Batch. But one of Star Wars' strengths has always been mirroring real-world problems through sci-fi fantasy, like Star Trek, but more subtle and morally gray. A nice example of this that I wasn't expecting was how the new Stormtrooper recruits discriminate against the clones. Discrimination has always been there in the subtext of Star Wars, but it's still nice to see it shown so vividly, and from the perspective of the bad guys, no less.
Tell me this, clone. If you all are so efficient, how come the Empire's scouting soldiers like us? Sounds to me like it's time for a change. Enjoy being commander, for now. We'll see how things shake out.
But it also got really dark. Star Wars has a lot of dark moments, even in the Clone Wars and Rebels, but showing how people are pressured into committing atrocities for authoritarian regimes, that was a whole new level, arguably up there with Order 66.
These are civilians. We should bring them in.
Those weren't our orders.
Forget our orders. This is wrong.
So you're not going to comply?
No, none of us are. Ignore the clone. We signed up to be soldiers, not an execution squad. We're going to detain the prisoners and take them in for questioning.
You want to know why they put me in charge? It's because I'm willing to do what needs to be done.
But still, I'm amazed at how they're able to keep Crosshair so sympathetic, despite the atrocities he commits. It may be too early to call, but I think that thematically, it's likely that Crosshair will rejoin the Bad Batch as a good guy and then die before the end of Season 1. I think he's a great character that adds a lot, so they might keep him around, but that's my prediction for the sheer gut punch of it alone. But even predicting it, I'm sure it would still be a very emotional finale to watch. And for my final thought on the episode, unless he was in Rebels and I didn't know it, that Imperial who keeps talking with Tarkin is gonna die, right? There's no way someone that high up in the Empire with that much sass to Tarkin makes it very far in a series without some unfortunate accident happening. Rip Krennic. So those were my thoughts on The Bad Batch Episode 3, but how have you been liking the series so far? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for more Star Wars.